No, dude, grappling sucks. Get my head cut. The ears don't bend. They break.
Dude, imagine being like, you know, when 80-year-olds, they just have fucking giant-ass ears. With cauliflower ear, but just fucking this tall.
Oh, dude, mine are going to be so ugly.
We're going to be hideous. So, yeah, you have that to look forward to. Keep fighting, but as they say, you want to be a fighter.
Yeah.
It's part of the game. And, yeah, we're rolling. We are here today with Cameron. How do you pronounce your last name?
Robinett, not Robinett.
I hear it 33 different ways. Every time it's different.
Yeah, Robinett a million times.
In Dakota, Schnall, some local MMA fighters. Some local friends. We trained together. We fought on the same cards, so we've known each other quite a long time. And, you know, being involved in something like that, it's pretty freaking intimate. Like, being in the back room, getting ready with somebody, watching them fight, being with them through the ups and the downs. Like, there's nothing more drastic than winning and losing a fight and then just being there with them battling through it. And then, you know, when I come back into the room, winning or losing, you guys are there, feel that energy. So that's pretty rare. It's pretty cool. Thank you guys for coming down.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. I guess
a lot of people don't know how supportive fighters are backstage.
Oh yeah, even like opposite corners. A lot of people that are supposed to be fighting each other, they'll still come back, shake you up, ask you how you're doing, how your day's going, and then you go fight, and then you come back and they shake you up like, oh damn, you fucking got me on that one.
Every time.
Yeah. So, yeah, not often. A lot of people are very surprised when it's like, wait, you don't just want to rip their head off all the time? It's like, no, not really. It's just like seeing how good I train. Oh, dude. Oh, okay. Let's talk about it. I was at I was doing photography for King of the Cage last week. Both these guys fought. And I was doing a little interview with Dakota. So I had all my stuff set up. They were in a rules meeting. So I had the locker room to myself. And then the meeting broke and they all came back in. That's where they get warmed up. That's where they get wrapped up. That's where they get ready for war. And this dude, he was ready for war. You could see it in his eyes. I was like, hey, dude, can I have my camera in here for like 3 minutes with Dakota? He was like deadpan looked at me and I was like, okay, he didn't say no. I'm fine. Let's go. Let's work.
Bro, that's just my face, man.
I know.
I swear. Everybody's like, oh, you're always mad. I'm like, no, dude, I just look mad.
Yeah.
Well, and I was like, and Allie, my girl's with me. She was like, does that guy hate you? I was like, no. Like, he was probably doing that to his coach,
You should have heard what our coach said after the fight. It was funny.
Yeah, dude, we walk back and, like, get my hand raised, and I'm not smiling or anything, right? And, like, we're walking through the crowd and getting back in the room, and we get in the back in the hallway, and I'm like, man, that's pretty good. And he's like, you're such a grumpy fuck, dude. He's like,
just so, because he doesn't even talk much as it is. So, like, everything he says is so stoic and just, like, cuts through. So I can imagine that now.
He's like, act like you enjoy this a little bit. And I was like, no, it was a really good time. Yeah.
He's like, well, how about you try to be nice to somebody as you walk back to the locker room?
Oh my god. But yeah, that feeling pre-fight, you were ready for war, and I could feel it. I was like, oh god, I'm glad I'm not fighting him. Because I asked him one question and I got mentally beaten down. I was like, oh fuck.
I got a funny story. I remember one time we were at a show and we all had to do interviews in the backstage, and we all just did normal interviews, and the guy wanted to do an interview with Cameron. He didn't want to do the interview the whole time. Didn't want to do it. And the guy's like, well, it's just part of the show. You have to do it. So he's like, all right, sounds good. And he like sits up and he's like, what are we expecting tonight or tomorrow night?
Yeah.
And he's like, what did you just say?
I only promise violence, but there's context.
Hey.
There's context missing from that, dude.
It was so funny though.
And that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Literally, that was the whole interview.
Just deadpan.
Yeah, but in my defense, right, we were fighting in Missoula. They had us weigh in at noon, right?
Oh.
So I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning and cut weight the whole drive over. Oh. My wife's in the car. My buddy Corey's cutting weight with me. We're in sauna suits, driving with the heat on.
Oh, yeah. Probably
right?
spitting out Jolly Ranchers or whatever.
It's great, right? So we get there. We're weighed in. They're like, you can't eat yet. You got to do an interview. And I'm just,
before you even
yes,
eat?
Yes, bro. And they're like, no, it'll be fast. And I'm like, you know how shows go, right? They're like, oh, it's going to be fast. 45 minutes later, I'm sitting there just like dead. And he's like, well, tell me how you're feeling going into this. And in my mind, I'm just like, what are you talking about, bro? I just cut like 10% of my body weight in a van.
Not good.
See, I don't have much to say to you.
Yeah.
So how did you really feel? What is the cutting weight process for you? Like, what do you usually walk around at? What do you diet down to and then finally cut? Because it's kind of different for everybody. We all have different ways to go about it. Like, different, doing it long enough, you kind of figure out your own formula, how your body works the best to get everything off. What was it like for you guys?
Well, this last fight, I fought at 45 where I usually fight at 35. So, I mean, it was a big difference. When I fight at 35, I feel just so drained.
What do you walk around at?
160.
160?
Yeah, so when I cut to 35, it's just like so draining. Once I get to like 142, I'm like, my mind starts telling me I can't do it.
Yeah.
But normally I'm like, I try to do it a little, like diet a little bit, but I've usually done it really unhealthy. But this last fight I did pretty good. The last fight I was like really healthy.
Yeah. Smiling at practice.
Yeah. I had dinner.
It was weird.
I had dinner every night. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, actually like 3 days out, I was like, walked up to camera, I was like, I had dinner last night.
Hey. He's like, oh dude, I ate so much, drank so much water.
Dude,
I feel great.
Then I had 2 pounds to cut the next day.
Oh, not bad at all.
No.
That's just like not eating breakfast.
Yep.
You can sleep that off.
Yeah, it was easy.
Cool. What about you? What do you walk around at, and what did you fight at last time?
I fought at 170. So I fought my whole amateur career at 170 pounds. And then I fought my first pro fight at 170. And it was a good fight. I lost a decision. And then my coaches were like, let's try 55. And I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
And the first fight I get down to 55. And I'm like... I was skinny, bro.
Oh,
like,
so I think I remember your cheeks.
Oh,
your cheeks
so
almost
bad.
poked me in the eyeball.
Dude, I was trying to walk around at like 170, and I never got to 170. I was walking around at like 173.
Damn.
And the first time I made it, I was like 55 on the money. Made it. I was like, oh, that cut's great. I'm gonna feel good. Walk out there. I got back up to like 186 pounds night of the fight.
Shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
And
But
like,
you made it.
Yeah, and I'm like, man, I feel good. I feel great. We go out there, and in my mind, I'm like, I'm not happening what happened last time. We're going to go. And I walk out. Boom. Big left hand drops me. And I recover on the ground. And I get up. And I'm like, nope, we're getting up. And then he, boom, sat me down. I'm like, wow, that was just bad planning, right? Bad planning. And then in March, I was like, yeah, we'll go 55 again. And I got down to like 173. And the weight cut was, because I do a 2-day weight cut. I cut like the day before weigh-ins. I get a little bit of water weight off. And then I finish it off with like 5 pounds the next day. And then in March, I was like, yeah, we're going to go. And I got down to like 160 the night before. So I'm like, 5 pounds? Man, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, we both struggled that next day.
Dude, Dakota and I started
That's a lot.
We both struggled.
With 1 day, 5 pounds, especially at the very, very end. That's...
Yeah, and I had like 6, 7.
Oh.
And we were together that whole day.
Dude, so we started cutting weight at like 7:30 in the morning. And my brother was cutting with us too. And he's just sweating like crazy. And I have a home sauna. And Dakota, you were sweating pretty good too.
Yeah, I was sweating really good.
And I'm in a sauna suit on a treadmill, and I'm in there for like 3 hours, dude. Nothing's coming out.
Fuck.
And I'm like, well, let's go to the gym. We'll get in the hot tub. And we go to the hot tub at like, what, 11?
11, yeah.
So I was like 164. I'm sorry. I was 164. And we get in there, and I get in the hot tub, and I start sweating. Boom. And I get down to 160, and I'm like, oh, it's coming off. This is great. And then,
By that time, I quit.
And then 1 o'clock hits, dude, and I just dried up. And I was in the sauna for like, till like 3:30. So I called the promoter, and I was like, tell my opponent to stop cutting. I'm not making it, right?
Yeah.
So we did a catch weight at 160. And I got back up to weight and stuff, and I was feeling all right. But like getting my hands wrapped and stuff, like Schnall was actually wrapping my hands, and I'm like, my hands were just like shaking. Not like out of nerves or anything, just like holding it on the chair. They're like doing that number, right? And I'm like, man, here we go. And we start fighting, and I feel good. I feel strong, and then boom, needle of liver. And it was just like,
oh, man.
Bro, you want to talk about like... It's crazy, right? Because like
think about just walking around how much pressure has already been on your liver the whole week. Like just living, it's already dying on death's door, and then just to get fucking.
Oh, it was awesome, dude.
I was gonna say about your getting knocked out, cutting so much weight. They say that your brain is surrounded by that gelatin, basically, and then if you dry yourself up, there's no protection of your brain.
I would get rocked even if we weren't going hard, right? I would get rocked off jabs every practice. And then like, so after that last fight, we walk in the back and my coaches are there. And like the first thing I'm done at 55, dude. I'm like, I'm not enjoying it. So I decided to go back to 70. And then like, I walk around at like almost 200 pounds.
Oh, damn.
On average. Yeah. Like 195 to 200 pounds, right?
Jeez,
so for this fight,
thick boy.
Yeah. So for this fight, I got down to like 185, cut to 15, came off and like, I cut the first 6 or 7. The night before, cut that 10 in 2 hours, dude. And I was on.
Damn.
Yeah, fast.
Nice.
Yeah, my body loves 170. My body's like, yeah, we're gonna fight here.
Yeah, there's definitely something to that of getting comfortable, knowing the limits to your body, and knowing, sure, you could cut the extra 10 pounds, but what about the next day? Then you're gonna be trash.
Yeah.
And Nate did the same thing you did.
Yeah.
He cut it off real good too.
Yeah. Yeah, he cut it really good. Yeah, so I'm back at 170, man. I can't, I can't mentally handle the cut. I think if I had like a super strict nutrition plan who could like cook for me and all that stuff.
So you didn't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I could probably do it, but it's not worth me not feeling good at the gym. You know what I mean? Like if I'm not feeling good at the gym, it's just crap all around.
Because that's most of your life. Most of your life is getting ready for a fight, training for a fight, eating, not eating for the fight.
Yeah.
So if that part's not worth it, then is the fight going to be worth it?
No.
Not really.
Not at all.
No. Yeah. So back to 170.
But yeah, that's good. I think UFC and ONE FC has been showing us the past couple of years that getting to your true weight, being able to flourish and max out your limit is going to be better than going down trying to get this little edge but then compromising yourself. So I think if you're comfortable there and you know your body the best and you can operate at peak performance, and fucking stick to it.
Yeah, that's
You looked phenomenal. You looked like you were a machine out there last week.
Yeah, I felt way better.
Yeah.
I'm just I'd rather have good fights and lose decisions than bad fights and get damaged, because it's not the damage in a fight that worries me. You know what I mean? It's like it's 15 minutes at most, really. It's like it's like the damage in the gym, right? The unseen damage where it's like, man, you're not performing because you're cutting and stuff like that, right? And stuff happens for sure, but I'd rather just be healthy 90% of the time and then risk that for the 15 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, at least you can have people watch it and get on the highlight reel. And yeah, it's a little more sexy to get knocked out in a fight than in practice in the corner of a smelly room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That just sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
You'd be put to sleep like me. Yeah.
Hey, I'd rather do that than get knocked out again.
Me too. I even woke up saying, I hope he didn't knock me out.
Oh, fuck.
Trevor's like, no, he didn't knock you out.
So
like, oh, thank God.
So what's that like? I haven't felt it in quite a few years, but what's it like going to sleep for the people that honestly will never experience that in their lives?
I remember trying to push up on the elbow, trying to, do that little easy escape.
Yeah.
Because his elbow was like kind of coming past a little bit. So I remember trying to do that. And then I went up to go grab, right when I had to grab the thing, that's when it's like his arm sunk in. And I was just like, I remember looking at the ground like, I'm good. I can get out of this. I've gotten out of this 100,000 times. I'm good. And that was the last thing I remember thinking. Ooh. And then I remember waking up to like cheering by that point, and like,
I did it.
Did you
I had
think
a
you
smile
won?
on my face, and I remember like looking at a couple people in front of me. I think one of them was my brother, and I was just like, I love you guys. Oh. Thanks for coming. Oh. And then I was like, I lost though, didn't I? And Trevor comes over and he's like, yeah, you got choked out.
Did you get that feeling of like when you come back, fuzzy, like dude. The earth was shaking?
Yeah, I was fuzzy, dude. That's one thing I can say. I felt like staticky.
Yeah, that's one thing. It's kind of like taking a psychedelic in a way where it's just like there's nothing that can compare to coming back to reality.
I was like so fuzzy, and it's like different than getting knocked out, because like I've been knocked out in a fight. And it like. When I was knocked out, I woke up and like didn't remember anything. I didn't even remember the fight. I don't even remember having the fight. But with that, I remembered the whole fight. I just didn't remember getting put out.
Yeah, the moment that you.
I remember waking up and being happy.
Yeah,
so that's all I remember.
Yeah. It is definitely like a very
being
euphoric
like
feeling.
I learned something. Like
yeah,
I learned what I need to do differently now. So.
Yeah, that's all you can take home, and you gotta wake up, go home. Not go to the hospital, which is good.
I don't lose, I learn.
Yeah. Especially with something like that. It's easy to watch the film and be like, oh, fuck. Like, literally right here, if I did this instead of that, different game.
It's like I've been fighting for so long that that's like my first thing I think of nowadays. Like, what should I have done differently?
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you what, though. It kind of sucks because I lost 6 times and I won 23, 24. I only probably remember half of the wins, but all those fucking losses, dude. I remember the name, the venue, the time, the weight, what I was wearing, who was in the crowd that I invited. Yeah. Those losses suck.
Yeah, they do suck. 100% agree with that.
But they make the winning better, right? It's like...
They do. They definitely make... Well, it kind of... That's a big reason why I got out, because I was fighting trying not to lose instead of trying to win, so I never got... I was just relieved when I won. I was just like, okay, I didn't lose. Right. I didn't make a fool of myself. I didn't waste these people's money that I told to come out to the fights. Like, there were expensive tickets. I better win. Like, to me, it was a lot of that instead of just like, I'm about to rip this dude's head off. Let's fucking go.
Right.
Which I wish... I'll take it back. My last 2 fights, I had this mentality of, I don't know what happened, but something clicked, and I trained with my brother at the time. He's, shout out Cadence, what up, CR Stubbs. I told him the day before, and when I was giving him that last hug before the cage, I was like, or I told him the day before to tell me then to, like, go kill him. Like, ultimately, your job is to killed or don't be killed.
Yeah,
and it's the referee's discretion on who lives.
Yeah.
Because really, if the referee wasn't there, one of you ultimately should not make it.
Yeah.
If we're getting down to the essence of the sport,
I feel like if I don't look at it that way, my nerves
don't get stopped.
Overtake me too sometimes.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that until my last 2 fights, but then that clicked into my head, and I was like, okay, this is different. This is different. This feels different. My mentality is different. My approach is going to be a lot different. So once that clicked into my head, then I was like, okay, I understand this now. And then realizing how much of me wasn't at that, like, it took me a lot to get to that level. I was like, I should probably be done, because I think I'm doing this for the wrong reasons. And and it's not something you want to mess around with.
No.
If you're not all the way into it.
Yeah. Yeah, being halfway in to fighting is not good, man.
No.
No. Yeah. Did you have somebody who was like, hey, man, or did you come to that decision on your own, or was somebody like...
No, yeah, I think just watching enough UFC and doing enough, like, get home alone after a long night of practice and get super baked and sitting there like, why am I doing this? Like, what's the goal? What's my end goal? What's the end game? What's your approach in going into the cage? And I was like, I think it needs to be kill him or don't be killed.
Right.
Because, like I said, it's the referee. If the referee isn't there, one of us is dying. And then so not only am I going to try to end my opponent, but it's also like, if the referee isn't there, I could be dead today going into this fight. Only thing stopping me is this referee saying stop. Right. So, like, that was like, oh, shit, I don't want to get killed, dude.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I think I was just sitting alone on my couch one day, and it just stumbled over me, and I was like, oh, it was like a wave overtook me. I was like, damn, yeah.
Dude, I stopped for a little while, too. I took a little, 3 years off.
Why'd you stop?
Kind of the same reason. I just didn't have it. I felt like I didn't have it in me.
Yeah.
To, like, keep that mindset.
And it's a lot of work. I was, you guys know it as well as anybody. You wake up, you run, you work, which work fucking sucks. And you only work so you can pay the bills to go train, and then to go to the other training, and then to go lift, and then to run again probably on the same day just to do it again, just to hopefully go win a fight.
I was explaining
There's a lot that goes into it.
I was telling some of the people that I work with, like, how depressing it is to come to work after a fight. Like, even if you win.
Oh, it's so horrible.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, really, you're in your underwear and you're fighting a dude. Yeah. Right? With your hands. And it's like, man, when you win, you're like, I'm on top of the world right now.
One of the most primal feelings.
Right? It's awesome.
Known to man.
There's nothing like it, right? To, like, go out there and, like, man, I just won in front of a crowd. That's awesome. And then, like, next day, you're punching that clock, right? And yes, sir.
You're just another face in the office or whatever you're doing. Just paying the man, getting the man some more money.
Yep.
Work's miserable.
Yeah.
If I could just train all the time,
dude, I'd
be okay with it.
Yeah. That's the goal. I mean, you guys are doing it the right way. You guys are selling out venues. You're getting the whole fucking northern Idaho to know your guys' name, and that's huge. You're training at one of the best gyms in the nation. You have great training partners, great coaches. So I mean, if anybody's gonna do it, you guys are heading in the right direction.
Yeah, we have a pretty legit fight team now too.
Yeah,
those guys are pretty damn good. We were actually just talking about it in the car. Some of the guys that we have over there are savages.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, Nate, you saw Nate fight.
Which one was Nate?
That was one of the Hawaiian guys.
Was that the little guy in the blue shorts?
No, he's in the black shorts.
Black AKA shorts.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Savage.
But yeah, he went all 3 rounds.
Hell yeah. You guys got anything coming up next, or are you just kind of getting that headspace cleared out and training again?
I don't got anything.
I don't got anything.
Probably just next game of the cage and 3-4
I'll
months.
take whenever, right? Let's go. Right?
You heard it here. Whoever's got to fight, let's go. 170.
I had my lazy week. I'm back on.
Now you're back at it.
Back on the diet. No, I mean, not yet. Right? I got 2 more days eating cake and whatnot. Let's not rush into that. But yeah, back on the diet on Monday and back into it full force.
Cool.
Yeah.
When was you guys' first fight?
Oh, what? Dude.
And did you guys train at all for your first fight? Because I did 2. I went to 2 classes before I took a fight.
So I actually trained at a gym, but I didn't go very often.
Yeah.
Because like I was just out of high school, so I had a bunch of stuff going on. I didn't train very much, but I remember my coach always telling me, "You need to get in here."
I actually met your brother at the last fights, and he said he got you into wrestling. When did you start wrestling? Like in high school?
I started wrestling like 8th grade.
Which is honestly pretty late for a wrestler. And then, for a true wrestler, that's pretty late.
Yeah, and then my freshman year, I wrestled. But the reason I got so good is because I wrestled year round. So I did all the freestyle and Greco. I did like everything. Anything that my coaches were like, hey, you should come wrestle here. I'm like, all right.
That's so tough, especially, I grew up wrestling just regular collegiate. And then all my buddies were doing freestyle. A select few were doing Greco. And I did freestyle one year. I didn't win actually, I don't think I got a point. If I'm being completely honest, I don't think I got 1 point in freestyle.
Bro, that's why wrestlers are so tough
was
mentally.
Insane. You would think it's pretty much the same sport, wrestling, collegiate, freestyle, Greco.
Oh, it's so different.
Completely different animals.
Oh, yeah.
It was very shocking to me.
I actually did really good at freestyle. I was actually pretty dang good at freestyle.
That's so surprising.
I really like freestyle. But that's how I get a lot of my just little tricky takedowns, hip to hip takedowns. Anything anything hip to hip.
I'm bullshit.
Dude, it is. It's the worst.
Yeah, so I'm pretty confident in my takedown. And if I get on your legs, chances are 90% of the time I'm gonna take you down.
Yeah. So
no matter how big you are, either. So
I think I was 20.
20?
Yeah.
How old are you now?
26.
Yeah.
Yep.
So a nice little run. Did you ever have a point where you had to stop and reassess and jump back in, or?
No, man. I mentally I took breaks, but physically I just kept showing up more than anything. You know what I mean?
Huge.
But I was always I'm always in the gym. That's all I do. I quit college to train.
Hell yeah.
I was doing I'll never forget. I told my wife actually. I think I was 20, and I was skipping college classes to go to jiu-jitsu.
Hell yeah.
And I told her, I can't. And I felt like such a loser at that time in my life. I just felt like I've never committed to anything. I was like, I'm gonna get a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I was like, I'm gonna do that, and then if I decide I don't want to do this, that's great. But I put the commitment in to earn something hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then doing jiu-jitsu, and then I'm like, yeah, I want to try fighting. And then had that first fight, and it was off to the races, dude. I was like, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah, you got that rush.
Yeah, and then from then on, it's been
I feel you with dropping out of college. I had no business going to college. I'm a fucking retard. I was poor as fuck. My parents poor. We were so poor we didn't even know really what scholarships was. I probably could have got everything paid for because we were so broke, but didn't even know what the hell to do. So I was going to school in Seattle. I did 2 trimesters, and then the 3rd trimester I just lived in the dorms, and then I trained. I was just paying $10,000 a month to live there, and then go train. But I'll tell you what, I came back. So I was doing that in Seattle, came back, and that was when I won all the amateur belts and all the defenses, and went on a 14 fight win streak. So I guess it kind of paid off, but yeah, I was living in the dorms because I just quit going to classes.
Yeah, because I was going to say,
got addicted to the training.
I know when I started fighting, I remember people would talk about you, but I didn't see you fight for a while after I started fighting.
Yeah.
Because I remember you fought someone a while back before I started fighting.
I took my first fight at 16.
Yeah.
At the Hub.
Dang.
Yeah.
I fought, and then one of my coolest fights, I think, it was at King of the Cage. His name, oh man, I'm totally spacing on his name. I can picture him now, but yeah, that's gone. Anyway, a different fight. This is my 5th or 6th fight. He was fighting out of AKA. Parker was the head coach at the time. His name was Randy Pfeiffer. He was 35, and I was 16. My dad was fighting, and I was just in my street clothes. They're like, "Hey, we need to fight." I was like, I've been working out. I've been training a little bit. So I fought 16 years old, fought this 34-year-old, ended up knocking him out in the 2nd round. But he came out of your gym with badass coaches in his corner, badass fighters brought to the cage, and I was like, fuck, I might be okay at this. Let's go.
Let's go. That's awesome.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was tight. it's crazy how young we still are, but like how seasoned our past is. Because going through fights and going through training camps really puts some maturity on your belts.
Well, it either makes you really mature or you're not mature. Yeah. That's the way it goes. It's like there's guys who are like, oh, you have to grow up, or there's guys who are like, no, this is awesome, and then they just disappear. Yeah. And go away.
Yeah, they won't be here talking with us. That's for sure.
Yeah.
What do you hate the most about fighting? Like, is it the cutting weight? Is it the potential of a loss? Is it the anticipation of sitting in the back waiting to go fight? Is it having to pee really bad 5 times before you have to walk out? Like, what's the biggest thing that you don't look forward to?
I don't know. I don't look forward to those nerves. I hate the nerves. And everyone knows it too. Everyone knows that about me. They're
How do the nerves hit you?
Is he going to be in his head this time, or is he not going to be in his head? Which Dakota are we getting tonight?
How do the nerves hit you personally? Do you get like, do you go into a shell? Do you get angry? Do you have to pee a bunch? Do you think that, like, do you have, what do the nerves look like for you? Yeah, I just kind of go into a shell.
I'm like in my own zone.
Yeah. But is that every time?
As hell, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost every time. If I'm not as nervous,
George St. Pierre said, if you're not nervous, you shouldn't be fighting. And he's exactly the best of all time. So, like, after I heard that, I was like, okay, it's okay to be nervous, but it's just being able to use it, being able to set it aside.
Yeah, use it. That's the thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What does being nervous look like to you? Or actually, rewind. What's the worst part about going into a fight?
Man, as dumb as it is, it's not even cutting weight. It's when a promoter's like, be here at 5. Right?
Yeah.
And we get there at 5. Right?
We were just talking about
this. They start at 7, and then we're the 5th guy to weigh in.
Even if they're like, be here at 5, weigh in start at 6, right? I'm like, okay, I can suffer for an hour. Mm-hmm. And then 6 o'clock rolls around. Oh, we're waiting for so-and-so amateur fighting heavyweight.
It's the worst when you're like co-main event or main event. And you know you're weighing in last.
I'm like, dude, I've been here for 2 hours.
Yeah. It's every time. Every show, every time.
Every time. There's always it's always the same person too. It's always some scrub who like trains independently, who's like, oh man, my car broke down. It's like, how did your car break down again? I mean, what are we doing, dude? Yeah. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, we're going to start when everybody's here. It's like, why don't you just check my weight? My opponent's here. We'll weigh in together. I'll stay. Yeah. I have no problem staying.
Just let me get some goddamn Pedialyte.
Let me drink some Pedialyte, man. That strawberry Pedialyte is calling my name.
Straight up.
It's just sitting there sweating.
Do you guys pay the extra $3 a bottle, or do you get the knockoff Pedialyte?
Oh, bro, I'm poor from North Idaho. You know I get the knockoff.
Me too. I don't know the last time I got real Pedialyte. It works.
I think I get real Pedialyte.
You get the real stuff? If it's on sale,
I used to get the knockoff.
Look at you.
Damn.
Making that money, dude.
But yeah, the waiting, because there's nothing, you get like girls PMS and go on their periods, but I think it's safe to say I might get a lot of fucking lashback, but cutting weight the last hour, 2 hours, I think we know how it feels to have those extra hormones, because it
good thing they don't have us fighting that night.
Oh, wait, whoa, okay, I take all that back. Because girls cut weight too. No. Can you imagine being on 100%. Your period and cutting weight? All those extra hormones and cutting weight? I'd take it back. I'd take everything back. I should have thought about that.
We're going to edit that part out.
But no, seriously, there's nothing worse than cutting weight and people being annoying, people being late, people being late, stupid,
people being late,
especially when it said in our paperwork last time, if you're late, you lose.
Dude. If you're late, dude. They're like, if you're late or don't show up, you might not get to fight. And I'm like, that's great. I'll never be late, dude. I'm 30 minutes early.
Oh yeah, we were all early. The whole AKA team was early.
Damn, take out might, and then we're on to something. Yeah, you will lose 20%.
I get there. I get like I'm not like a dick, but I get like snappy. I'm like, where's my contract? I'm like, let's go. Give me the paperwork. I'm like,
especially stuff like that.
Fill it out.
Let's get the ball rolling.
I'm like, you're gonna make me fill this out before I step on the scale. I'm ready now.
Yeah.
Let's fill it out. Let's go. Yeah, I hate that part. Damn. Yeah, that's my least favorite part. And then like the nerves, right? Everybody has nerves before a fight, but like, I mean, you know how it is. It's that roller coaster of like, you show up, you're like, man, I'm here. And they're like, all right, go in the back. And you're like, man, what am I doing here, bro? What did I sign up to do? And
getting
then like,
your hands wrapped is like the longest.
Oh,
it's
so
just like,
long.
Damn.
See, that's when I start to calm down.
Sit there and it's like, all right, let's. Yeah. You're just staring at it like this is.
See, I get my hands wrapped
right here.
early. Like, because I'm always like, Dakota's either...
Which is what I should have done last time.
Dakota's always like...
A little lackadaisical and...
Yeah, I'm always after him, so I'm like...
I'm always like, I try to be the first, even if I'm like, we had a guy, he was second fight of the night, and I was like, I want my hands wrapped before him.
Yep.
I'm like, let's get my hands wrapped. I'm like, get your hands wrapped so I can go, right? Because like, once my hands are wrapped, I can mentally like, I just accept it.
Then you just know you're
right.
Getting
Mentally, I'm like, okay, yeah.
Mentally, you're locked in the cage at that point.
I'm like, it is what it is. No matter what happens, I'm already there already. Whereas before, I'm like, man, I gotta pee, I gotta do this.
Yeah.
Once the hands are wrapped, I'm like, yeah, okay, just it's inevitable of what's going to happen. Let's just go.
See, that's all the backlash I got last time. Everyone's like, you should have wrapped your hands earlier.
What happened last time?
Well, this last fight, I didn't wrap my hands till right before my fight.
Oh, so you couldn't warm up or nothing?
I warmed up a little bit, probably not as much as I should have. Not that that's to blame, but it probably would have helped if I would have had my hands wrapped a little bit earlier.
My first 5 fights, I didn't warm up.
Oh no!
Ever did. I was like, no, I don't need to.
Did you ever make it to the second round?
Yeah.
Oh god, I bet you were just dead.
Nah, dude, I don't get tired.
Oh my god.
I don't get tired.
I don't get tired either.
That's hilarious.
It just sucks. Like
my lung. Back to that fight when I fought Randy out of your guys' gym when I was 16. That was the first time I went to the corner to get ready for the second round, and I told my dad, who was my coach, I was like, I can't do it. My lungs felt like it was full of water, but also on fire at the same time. I was just like, I can't do it. He's like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, dude, that's how I was. That's how I was when I fought that Jorge Juarez guy for fought him for 4 rounds, dude. Oh my god,
it's such
going into the fourth round. I was just like, I can't breathe. I'm like walking over to my coach. I'm like, I can't breathe. Yeah. And if they wouldn't have said like, dude, he's worse than you are, then I probably wouldn't have went out for the next round.
Yeah. That's there's like when you watch it on TV and you see people slow down and like, oh, he's tired. Like most of the time, that's what it is. Like it feels like your lungs are on fire and full of water. And not it's just like, oh, my left bicep is a little tired right now. It's your whole body is just
everything
not working. Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. When you lose your cardio, it's no good.
Because once you're in the cage, everything is just at the extreme.
I was just saying the other day too. Like I feel like every time I'm in the cage, everything's happening in slow motion. Like it doesn't happen like that when I'm training. Cool. When I'm sparring, I feel like everything's so fast. You're in that
flow state.
Yeah, but then like in the cage, everything's so slow. Like,
that's so cool. I'm so envious because I've been in 2 street fights before in my life, and they've been like after my MMA career, and that is when I understand that I've been training and that I'm a lot better than regular people because that's when it really felt like I was in the Matrix. Like I slipped a punch, double leg, dumped him on elbow, knee, and it all really like I played every simulation in my head before. I was like, hey, I'm gonna do this, and he's gonna do that probably. But if I could do that in the cage, I've never gotten to that level in a cage where it slows down and I'm just in control.
Yeah.
Which I'm super envious of people like that.
Yeah. It's hard to get there.
Sure. To me, it's always just like, okay, let's like just waiting for it's like waiting for a motorcycle to kickstart. You're just like nothing.
I was trying to tell my wife, I'm like the concept of time on like fight day is crazy. I'm like, because it feels like it's forever. Like you wake up early, even though you're trying to sleep in.
Yeah, it's like Christmas.
And it takes forever, but it's going fast at the same time. And then it's like you're in the back and it's slow and you're waiting. But then they're like, oh, one fight, you're on deck, right? And you're like, man, this is going slow. And like the walkout and it's super slow. And then all of a sudden the ref's like, you ready, go. And it's like, what?
Wait a minute.
How'd I get here? You know what I mean? And then game on.
Oh my God, that's so true. Time is crazy. That shows how many emotions and just how crazy it is. It's freaking crazy to go fight somebody in a cage and to love it. Yeah, to love it is the fucking weird part.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, I always tell my family that. I'm like, it's the coolest thing that I can go legally fight someone in a cage.
Yeah, it does help with like anger and just like you're not worrying about the fucking jackass that cut you off in traffic. You're like, I'll take it out in a few weeks. Although I still do that sometimes. Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie.
These people drive like idiots.
Yeah. I always like it when people are like, I like to fight. I'm like, do you? do you like to fight?
Yeah,
I'm like, tell me how much, because I'll tell you how much I like to fight.
There's mutual combat in North Idaho, right?
No, dude.
Wait, not in Idaho?
Not in Idaho.
What? But Washington?
Yeah, but Idaho, you can like still shoot somebody if they want to assault you. So
that's hilarious.
You know what I mean?
Can't believe there isn't in North Idaho of all the that's like as North Idaho as it gets.
Right?
Like, yeah. Let's fight legally.
And it should be like that because we've talked about this before. I don't know how many people like I can't even go out to a bar because my ears just like pick a fight.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't want to fight you.
You think you're a tough guy, huh?
Yeah, exactly. It's like goes to that and I'm like, not once did I want to fight you.
Luckily, I'm only like 5'6", so that never happens to me.
Oh, bro, I can't go out.
I
wear a beanie, I look like a total douchebag.
You look like you're the bouncer.
They're like, it's July. Why are you wearing a beanie? I'm like, my head's cold, bro.
My head's cold. My ears are poor circulation now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Yeah, going out, man. Not for me.
What do you guys ever hit Nashville North? My girls drug me out there a few times. It's a hoedown. Joel actually taught us how to swing dance.
Oh, really?
Oh, that's cool.
Of course he did.
My wife likes to go out there and dance, but like I've gone out a couple times. I'm not big in the bar scene, man. I just can't. Not that like if that's what you want to do, that's great. You know what I mean? But like, I gotta be up early, bro. And now I got a kid. I'm like,
I was about to say, no, this guy right here, he literally just like dads work. Then straight to training.
Dude, my kid's up at 5.
That's like all he does.
Kid? He's 14 months.
Damn, congrats.
Yeah, and he's a terrorist.
He's a little puppy. He's a little human puppy, huh?
Dude, yeah, but he has like he's a puppy who's like has a purpose. You know what I mean? Like
cool.
We're up at 5, we're going.
Dang.
Like I don't know where we're going. He doesn't either, but like we're on a mission, dude. We're seeking and destroying stuff.
Dude, that's so tight. I'm so like I can't tell if I want a kid or not.
You can't tell.
No,
just haven't decided.
One day I'm like, oh, I'm ready, and then the other day I'm like, what the fuck? I can't even handle a dog right now. There's no way I can handle a child. But that's so crazy. Having a kid would be so tight. Yeah. You guys are both papas, huh?
Yeah, I would get to you.
Did you ever? So there's a big thing in the UFC when like a fighter has a kid and then they come back and it's like different fighter. Did you guys feel any new fire once you had a kid?
I did, but I had a lot more going on in my life, so.
Yeah.
No, I didn't, man. It was just like...
Just another day in the office?
Yeah, man. I don't know. I didn't want... Because, like, I see... when people have kids, they do one of two things. Either they keep doing what they're doing and they're a good dad, or they're a terrible dad, right? Or they make excuses because of their kid. And I never wanted to be that guy.
Yeah.
I never wanted to be... because, like, the way I looked at it, I never wanted to be that guy who's like, man, I'm going to tell my kid he can do... You got to work hard and you can try to be whatever you want. I can't promise you're going to be anything, but you can try, right? And then I never wanted in like 20 years when he's like, well, why didn't you keep fighting? Why didn't you try? Well, I had you.
Oh.
You know what I mean? I never wanted to be
like that. Even if you just say it one time on accident, that's the type of thing that's going to stick with them for.
Exactly. Yeah, I never wanted to be that guy who was like, well, I had kids, so I quit chasing my dream. But it was, no, dude. I had you and I took you with me and I went for it. And if I make it, awesome. If I don't, I still tried.
Yeah, that's huge.
You know? Yeah, it's more of a lesson than anything else.
That's huge.
Yeah.
When I have a kid, we'll have another podcast and I'll be able to relate with you guys on that part. But I hate when people do it. And I still do it all the time. But having a dog, dude, really opened my eyes to be like, wait, yeah, I'm probably not ready for a kid.
Yeah.
And that's probably like a 30-second of the work and the commitment. I can put that thing in a cage for fucking 6 hours when I need to.
Yeah, exactly.
Not a baby.
Yeah. Your baby shits on the floor. You can't like get mad at it. You know what I mean? You're like,
yeah.
It's your fault if it shits on the floor because it doesn't have a diaper.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You know what I mean?
All right, let's bring this back to fighting. What's the furthest you guys went to go for a fight? Like Missoula?
I went to Boise.
Yeah, Boise? I've never even been to Boise. How was that show?
I mean, dude, the show, I got knocked out, but the show was awesome. It was a great time. Dude, it was for Fusion. Yeah. I don't know, like my buddy Jamal and I were talking. We both lost that night. It was cool, but it's like we were driving home at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
The longest drive ever, too.
You know, man, it sucks, right? Losing sucks. But we were talking. I was like, this is the time in my life I'm going to look back on. I'm going to be like, those are the good old days. You know what I mean? Like, we went down. We ate a ton of good food. We got in a fist fight. Almost got in a fight in an elevator.
What?
Right? Oh, bro.
Classic.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Damn, did you guys win?
No, we got knocked. We lost.
No, in Oh, you got into a fight because you were
we got,
fighting.
I
thought you meant like a street fight.
Yeah, we almost got into a street fight in an elevator, bro.
Okay.
That was whack.
In an elevator.
Dude, yeah. And just for the record,
was
right?
it 2v2?
No, it was like 2v10.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. And I'd have taken me and Jamal any day of the week. If I have to be in a street fight with somebody,
in an elevator too?
Jamal Davis
Jamal's
is the person
man,
I want in a
dude.
street fight with me, bro.
Scrappy Jones.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude. Yeah. He's just like 135 pounds of I'll rip your head off.
Yeah.
Dude, and he smack talks like no.
Oh,
It's
dude.
so funny.
Yeah.
That's like half the street fight is the shit talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So we're in the elevator, right? And we're like, we're going up to a hotel room to get our stuff, right?
Yeah.
And these drunk people get in. And they're like, did you guys fight tonight? We're like, yeah. They're like, how'd it go? And I'm like, oh, we lost. They're like, oh, no big deal. And homie goes in to hug me, and I'm like,
Just a rando?
I had no idea. He's like, oh, man. And I'm like, nah, man. I'm like, I don't hug.
Oh,
and he's like,
God.
oh, well. And I'm just like, I'm like, bro, I just got knocked the fuck out, but I'll beat you up. You know what I mean? I could use a win tonight. And then like they got out of the elevator, and I was just like, well, pumped up, but
The blood was recirculating.
yeah, I was like, I'm feeling ready for round 2. It was like, I couldn't say my
God.
name. You know what I mean?
I couldn't say my name.
Yeah, who drove home?
I did.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, it sucks. The coolest one was probably Emerald Queen. It was on I was actually doing like a documentary with some Mexican TV company, but they did like a full training camp filming before the fight. Flew me out to Seattle, and then I just got choked out in like 30 seconds. So I never watched the documentary because I know how it ends, and it's not good. But like just being involved in those cool shows is so fucking cool.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah,
dude.
that Missoula show was awesome.
Yeah. Emerald Queen's cool though too. Was that Cage Sport?
Yeah.
Cage Sport's cool. I fought for them.
And then I did one of the.
Oh, you fought for Cage
I
Sport.
did a Cage Sport in Oregon. That was my last fight. That was pretty cool. I forget which casino, but yeah, it was tight.
Who'd you fight?
Tight. Who?
Yeah.
No idea. I forgot. He was a Mexican kid.
Did you win?
Yeah. I dropped him with the left hook, took his back, and it was kind of cool. That was one of the fights where it was kind of slow motion, and I was super, super chill. I had his back, I had my hooks in, and he popped me in the nose. I was like, oh, you bastard. And then took his arm, so I had his arm, and then the body lock.
Taking that shit.
And then I checked him out.
That's
it was
awesome.
cool. And then, yeah, that was my last fight.
Like, won't be punching me with that thing again.
Yeah, I was like, you little bastard. Yeah, it kind of hurt. Usually, that was like one of the only punches in my career that I felt. Because most of the time, you really don't feel anything when you're in a fight. But it got me right in the nose. I couldn't, I was tearing up. I was like, fuck you, dude.
I'm not
Give me
crying on
that.
TV.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, that was tight. Do you guys feel that too, where you don't really feel... Like,
Oh, yeah.
if you get hit in the liver, your body just shuts down, and that hurts like a mug. But, like, you don't really feel punches.
Dude, even that liver shot, I didn't, when he hit me with it, right? I was like, he hit me, boom, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to get off the wall. And then my body was like,
Nope.
no, we're not. 5 seconds later. And then the sound I made was like, and then down. I was like, ugh, that's embarrassing.
The worst. Trying to explain these things to the layman is...
No, dude, I don't even try.
Doesn't do it justice.
No, I don't even try.
You're just like, hey, look over there. Bop.
People are like, what happened? I'm like, I got hit in the liver. They're like, oh, well, why didn't you? I'm like, you're right. You're like, I should have just got up.
Yeah.
That would have been that.
I'm just going to agree with you
Yeah,
on this one. Dude.
yeah.
We just should have got up.
Yeah, you're right.
Dude. Yeah, that's crazy. Maybe Elon Musk can build in his Neuralink some nerve blockers where your body doesn't shut down for stuff like that, and only can have super fights.
Yeah,
So you don't ever get knocked out. That would be tight. If there was no repercussions for fighting, I would sign up. I would sign a contract for every weekend. If my brain wouldn't get fucking
battered and bruised.
I would fight every weekend.
Fight every day.
I wouldn't mind a black eye, bloody
Every
noses, broken nose. But, oh man. Maybe one day. We're still young. Elon Musk is in his prime, so
Yeah,
he might develop something.
Was that your biggest reason for getting out? Head trauma?
Head trauma, along with just the time commitment. I met Allie actually at one of my fights, and then was just in that position of, yeah, you're really cool. I want to hang out with you, but
I gotta go to the gym.
yeah, or like I gotta run and then go to the gym and then work and then I hang out with you at 10 o'clock and then I'm tired as fuck, so I get like 30 minutes with you. And I was like, oh wait, this is fucking tight hanging out with you. So just ultimately just stopped, and now here we are. So I mean, Worked out pretty cool.
Worked out great, man.
Yeah. But yeah, the head trauma and the time are the two biggest things for sure. But like you were saying, if you're able to be smart, like Max Holloway, I think for his last few fights hasn't done any sparring for his fights, and that's one of the biggest. Yeah, those little, the not sexy brain damages adds up a lot in training. But if you can train smart, and then you're gonna get hit a few times in a fight, unless you're fucking Shemaev. Yeah, once every 4 months, you should be okay. Yeah. But so there is that thing. Like if that was the only thing stopping me, I could work around that. But it just takes so much time to be good. Yeah. And like I said earlier, that's not something you want to do if you're not trying to be the best.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It takes so much time to be good.
To be decent. It takes time to be decent.
What are you, a purple belt now,
brown belt.
Brown belt.
Brown belt?
Yeah.
Shit, that takes some time.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a lot of time.
I don't even have my white. I literally don't even have a white belt yet.
I'm still a blue belt.
Hell yeah. That's big time. Congrats.
Thanks, man. Yeah. I'm not even good at jiu-jitsu. I mean, I'm not bad, but like, dude, one of my main jiu-jitsu training partners, he's a national brown belt champ, and he just makes me look like I do nothing.
Damn.
Oh, dude, yeah, Cody Porter's a savage on the mat, dude. He just like, so we'll go, and I'm like, our rounds, I'm like, we're going, I'm like, all right, dude, we're playing defense.
Yeah.
Playing defense for 5 minutes, son. Let's go.
Do you ever catch him?
Oh, dude, I don't think I've ever caught him in
just not
jiu-jitsu.
catchable?
No, like in MMA, it's different, right? I think I've caught him in like, but the thing is like, it's like, you want to talk about practice, right? It's like, does it count? No,
yeah, like
it does. So no, I would never say I've caught him.
Yeah, that's like, I wrestled Terrence McKinney in high school. He pinned me twice in my high school career, and he was what's the word? Savant. He's a fucking savant when it comes to wrestling. Good. But we were training actually at AKA. I was out with Killian and Cordell, and he was there. But he was pretty much brand new in MMA, so we were standing up, and then I took him down. But that's with stand up. Right. I'm never gonna be able to just take him down if it was wrestling. But yeah, if you have to worry about getting punched in the head, then you're gonna have a little bit of an opening here and there. Then you can take it, which is great for MMA, but. Yeah, it sucks once you get just into their certain specialties. It's like, oh, wow, you're really good at this. I'm very decent.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm very decent. Yeah.
It's like how I am with my MMA takedowns. Like, just gonna take you down.
Yeah. But pure wrestling, it's like, oh, I got this on lock.
Oh, yeah. I feel like it's easier for me to take someone down in MMA than it would be in wrestling.
Oh, dude, my wrestling's trash, but in MMA wrestling, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah, like straight wrestling, it's trash, but like in MMA, I'm a fairly decent wrestler.
Yeah, you got to worry about so much more than just a takedown in MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And something that I forget who told me. Yeah, I really have no idea, but he was like, your opponent has no idea what you're thinking to do next.
Right.
And so my whole time we're standing here, it's like, oh, he knows I'm going to shoot for a takedown. He knows him. But you think about it, it's like, how the fuck does he know you're going to shoot for a takedown?
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know shit.
He really has no idea.
Yeah. Especially
and so once I learned that, you start taking a little more risks, and then you understand, like, oh, he doesn't know I'm going to do a takedown. And then you do it, and it works. And it's like, oh, shit. But so much of my training and fighting was like, he knows I'm going to try to spin here. Well, actually, that's a bad example because you can easily see when people are going to spin. But no, he doesn't know what I'm going to do.
Right. Never.
So that was a cool take-home moment I learned one day. I wish I remembered who said that. I give you some credit, but I have no idea. I don't even remember when I learned that either. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know. It's gone into the ether.
It's gone. Yeah,
it's gone. Where was your guys' first training session? Did you have like family or friends that brought you into MMA? How'd you even start?
Yeah, I actually had a friend that I wrestled with. He brought me into it. He was doing it forever at this little gym called Legacy in Coeur d'Alene. Yeah, and that's how I got involved in it. I was just a wrestler that came in. Actually, I only came in to do jiu-jitsu. I didn't want to fight. Yeah, that was the last thing I wanted to do. I was just like, I want to do jiu-jitsu because I can't wrestle. I didn't want to go to college, so I was not about to like do anything in wrestling in college. So I was just like, well, I'll see how this goes. I remember the head coach was like, you should try to fight. And I was like, all right, I'll make you a deal. If I fight and I win, I'll keep doing it. But if I lose, I'm done.
Then he got the bug.
Yeah, then I went out there and won in like 30 seconds, and I'm just
this is tight.
Yeah, 17 fights later, I'm still doing it.
Hell yeah.
I started when I was 16 at AKA. My buddy.
At AKA, tried and true, huh?
Yeah. And then, but it was like high school, so it wasn't like super like.
Because you had obligations. Probably didn't have a car. You didn't have
I had a
money
car.
paid
I was just
for
like
it,
into
but...
chasing girls and.
Oh yeah, same thing.
You know what I mean? Like not dedicated, and then. I was like 16 and I started with those guys and it was awesome, but it was like never super serious.
Yeah.
Then I graduated and I was like, oh, freedom for the first time in my life? What?
Yeah.
It was like 6 months of me like partying and stuff, and then I went back. Then I ended up leaving again. I was super embarrassed, so I started training at a little gym called Citadel. Kyle Maloney ran it, and I was like, in my whole mind, I was like, I'm gonna get back to where I was, and then I'm gonna go back. Which is like, looking back, it was like, you should have just gone back, stupid. And then I ended up going back to AK when I was like 19 or 20.
Damn.
Full time. So I've been with them. I've been with Trevor for
I actually followed him to AK.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because I went from Legacy. Legacy shut down. I went to Citadel.
Yeah.
And then he went to AK, so he was like, told me to come with him, so I went with him to AK.
Hell yeah. Well, I think you guys are on to something. It's been working out. You guys
working
have
on it.
taken the right path, and you're at the best place you can be for it. You guys are fucking great teammates for each other. So that's cool to see.
Oh, yeah.
Looking forward to seeing you guys' next fight. I'll be out there with the camera getting some flicks.
Awesome, man.
I got both of you guys' pictures. I'll send those over to you, too.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that's about to wrap it up.
All right,
Thanks, bro.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah,
Play
absolutely.
the best. Deuces. Oh, gang.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah, thank you, man. That was
Thank
a
you
good
guys
time.
for coming out.
Yeah.
That's easy talking right